Hey guys, today I'm going to be showing you this new machine that I've gotten. This is a Bissell Power Force bagless 6583. This is the 10 amp one. It's in really rough condition. It's missing the adjustment wheels. It's got scuffs all over the place. I did polish this bottom piece, so it is a little bit more blue. It was more like really bright blue when I first got it. It almost looked like a Dash F 6583 with the different blue because it was just so faded. So by polishing it, you take a layer of just a very thin layer of the oxidized color or the faded color away, and it makes it look a hell of a lot better. It's actually very nice and glossy and smooth now, although there's not much I can do about the random scuffs everywhere, like right there, and over here there's like these droplets or something, which I was hoping the polishing would take off, but it didn't. It has no attachments whatsoever. I also polished all the tanks and stuff, make it nice and clear. Didn't turn out perfect, but it makes it look a little bit nicer anyways. Everything got washed and cleaned. This area is always hard to clean out, so it's still a little like it's got dust in some of the crevices, but I tried my best. This piece I had to take out because it was so clogged up with dirt I could barely get it to move. I washed that little thing in there, not like it does much. With my Clean View 2, since I use this thing a lot, which it's already starting to sound like shit. It doesn't sound that bad, but they start sounding pretty bad the more you use them. But worst comes to worst, I just buy a new motor for it. You can see I have this in there to catch more of the dust because that doesn't do anything. And my 6594 didn't even come with one of those. So I have, if I want to use my 6594, I have to steal one from this or 6583. But yeah, I use this thing just for in here. I don't use it throughout the house or anything, just for in here. And it can barely handle that. You can hear the motor starting to get a little bit louder. But if anything, it's just starting to kind of break in. I really don't think the original owners used this much. It might as well have been new old stock when I got it. And it's still in great condition, body-wise. And I probably just I stripped it down to the motor before I started using it again. But it looks like it already needs it again because so much dust gets by this tank setup. Because that filter, there's no seal where it locks in. And a bunch of dust gets around it. I can even show you on this. If you look underneath, you can see the dust getting underneath and around that filter right there where it locks into place. You can even see those notches, how they're dusty. And then here, you can see, not much, but there is dust on this locking cabinet. You can barely see it. Picks up pet hair really well. And my rubber bands. They just pop out of my teeth and then land on the floor without me noticing. So the vacuum picks them up for me. See, they're all over the place. There's one right there, one right there. Up here, like I said, I gave it a polish. I cleaned it up a little bit, same with both of these tanks. I washed that filter. It was still in good condition. Those inner filters are washable. People think you can't wash them. You can. It literally says you can if you, this thing I washed, it was, this thing had an infestation of cigarette butts all over the place. All of this was filled with cigarette butts. It was clogged, the hose was clogged with cigarette butts. Belt was snapped. No, actually, no, the belt wasn't snapped. That was on a different machine, because I've gotten a couple machines recently. There's a couple more outside that I just got. One's a Dirt Devil and one's a Bissell. Got them from my uncle. Rubber seal here is still good. That's not dust. That's just like a mark on there. Seal's still good. And theirs is like a plastic micro crack / stress mark right there. You can see the little micro cracks around it. And then the stress mark in the middle. This is a little bit more different than the 6594 and or this thing. Those just have little slots, in them, and this has a lot of tiny little circles. I personally think that's a little more effective than the circles because at least those with the spinning rotation, stuff literally would have to go backwards to get in there. But it does just kind of have a sucking motion, but that rotation makes it harder for dust to get sucked in, and then it eventually rotates down to here. With this, anyway, it's just gonna get sucked in. So we'll have to kind of see. I mean, like, I've been using this as a daily driver for a week, and you can see that filter's just got a nice layer of dust on it. It's not all packed. The filter in here is drying right there. I had my fan on, but I shut it off for the video. This doesn't even lock in anymore. Like, it's just worn out. So, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of got, like, a slight clip to it, but again, not really any dust in here. It's just kind of a little bit has settled, I guess. This piece I just wiped down. Turned out fine. I did strip it down to the motor. Wasn't bad at all, actually. Even though the fan did have one cigarette butt in it, if you include that. So I'm thinking they ran it without the filter at some point, because there was indeed a cigarette butt in the fan. So this thing had a lot to be done so I could get rid of the cigarette smell. And now it smells like laundry detergent. Right here I tried gluing that to get it to stay on, and it doesn't want to stick. So, but yeah, right here. It was made on the 60th day of 2011, 10-amp model, and it's a Bissell 6583. The foot release did not have to be replaced. It works just fine. These older Bissells, it was the helixes and stuff, the helix after this, that they did, the 12V1. That was the one that went through foot releases like crazy. Even this has its original foot release. My original Clean View, the 3590, that has its original foot release. At least I think so, unless they've been replaced under not under my, other owners could have replaced them, but I highly doubt it. I feel like it's more or less to just Bissell used to be decent quality back then. They really went downhill, I gotta say. It doesn't have adjustment wheels, and it's missing one of these little things right here. People think these don't do anything, but they actually do. Your vacuum, if you don't have these, your vacuum's gonna perform like shit, because your brush hole is literally just gonna be digging into the ground, and the bristles are gonna be mushing down. These are here to prevent your brush hole from just digging straight into the carpet. That's what those are there for. So, a lot of people think, oh, it works better without those. No, because your brush hole is just gonna go straight into the ground and bog down like crazy. So, they're there for a reason. Plus, these are what give you your groom lines. So, yeah. Now, this one being gone isn't going to hurt anything because all these other ones are still here. But, I mean, I can't remember who it was, but I was talking to them on Instagram, and they have like a Eureka Victory or something, and they're missing all of these, and they think that kid's like, oh no, they don't do anything. I eventually started getting kind of irritated, and I just gave up on arguing. So I'm not going to sit there and argue with someone the same age as me, if not younger. No, I think he's older than me, actually. It was actually Dylan. Dylan Pereira Cleans. He has a Eureka Victory, and he kept arguing with me. He thinks those things down there don't do anything, but they do. So, yeah. Matter of fact, they're kind of the thing that prevent you from eating away at your brush roll because you don't have adjustment wheels. If I didn't have those, and I also didn't have these adjustment wheels, I wouldn't be able to use this thing without damaging the brush rolls. Matter of fact, and it would actually just go boom, 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 because those prevent the brush roll from literally the beater bars on the brush roll from just rubbing on the carpet, and the bristle is not doing anything. So these things actually won't clean for shit without those little things on them. So, yeah. It has this style of plug. CleanView 2 has this style, which is also what my Helix had. I think. Well, I guess we could see what my Helix had because my CleanView original has my old Helix cord. Yeah, it had. That's what came off the Helix, was that cord right there. Which this thing's about to get some surgery done. I got a switch for it. I'm gonna make it so that there's not a big, huge fitment problem right there. I'm gonna give it a good cleaning. I have the switch right there, which it's a newer switch for like the power grooms, the older ones. But yeah, so that's this thing. We're gonna give it a run, see how it works. it doesn't sound perfect, or at least it didn't with the cigarette button fan. Hopefully it sounds better after, it might be on. Hopefully it sounds better after I'm cleaning it. That's what I'm hoping. Let's see what we got here. Don't have to adjust the height, really, because it doesn't do anything. Doesn't sound beautiful, but it could be worse. Sounds better than it did. I think a lot of that vibrating sound is the brush roll. I wasn't able to get the brush roll apart, and I actually did break one of the end caps, but it still functions with that broken end cap. I didn't break the end cap, I just kind of broke the little hex end on it, so it doesn't really look like a hex anymore. But luckily, it's still enough of a hex to hold the brush roll in place. This probably only has a 25. Nah, not even 25, probably a 20-foot cord. It's still cool to have in the collection, either way. Definitely better than the Helix 12B1 that I had. Although not by much. Basically the same machine. But I would take this in terms of build quality. Not like it's much better. Yeah, I mean, I'm actually pretty excited to have this. I mean, a lot of Bissell vacuum collectors have one of these, and I'm the only one that didn't have one, and I honestly am getting to the point where I could consider myself a Bissell vacuum collector. We got, I mean, I guess I actually have more Eurekas than I do Bissells, I think. We got Bissell 6594, we got this Bissell, which I guess I haven't showed you guys yet, I'll have to do a video on it, Bissell 1831, we got a Bissell Power Groom, we got a Bissell Plainview 3590, we got a Jet, we got Bissell Easy Vac, the 6583, and the 3574, then we got the 71Y7, and then another Bissell that I just got, and yeah, like I said, the other one's a Dirt Devil, and one of my Dirt Devils is, because for a while, the 3590 was in my sister's room, because that's what she was using, and I replaced one of the motor mounts. That's a 71Y7 motor mount. And then she broke the other motor mount over here. You see. Oh, my apologies, buddy. You see. I don't know why she has to be so rough on my shit. I'm like, Tristan, I'm gonna make you buy your own vacuum if you can't be nice to mine. Like, and I trust her with this just because of how, like, I was like, okay, you can use this piece of junk. Even though it's one of my favorite machines, it's kind of my baby just because of how much effort I put into it, trying to make it so that the Helix motor would work in it, and, you know, trying to kind of just make everything fit in it, running the switch to here, which that hole will be patched up, and then the switch will be here. Oh dear, I made that crack worse. This thing needs a lot of work, but it's not really one of the prime priorities in my collection. It's been broken for a long time. It wasn't my fault. I've had this handle taped in for a while. Shove it in there. I wanted to have it higher, which I will if I start using this thing again, but I really don't need to be using this. It's really small. Although I think it has a 7-amp motor. Yeah, 7-amp motor, same as the Easy Vacs, which I have 3 of those now. So this thing was made in 09. So I was 2 when this thing was made, which makes sense. I think I was around 2 when I got this. So it's 11 years old. It's not bad. You know what? You gotta give this thing props for making it that long. Although, back then, Dirt Devils were more than Bissells. So this was more expensive than the Easy Vacs. I do remember that. Although, I think the Easy Vac is the better bargain. Just because it has a lot more features. This doesn't even have a hose, but it is better built than the Easy Vacs. The reason all these cracks happened is because it took a tumble down the stairs. A lot of times. It took a lot of tumble down the stairs. And then one time, my dad was just walking with his phone. He was looking at his phone, and he was walking like this, and this handle just hit him right in the crotch, and then he tripped, and then he fell right on the handle, and it just completely cracked this. And this is no damage considering he's a 160-pound man, and, like, you would expect a lot more, and I think he's around 150 pounds right now. I feel like he was more like 200 pounds back then. Definitely a little bit of a bigger guy then. Which I'm not even shit talking him. I mean, 200 pounds for him, that was 11 years ago, so he was 26. He was 26, so 200 was honestly pretty reasonable for him. Especially, I can say that because I know, I know his parents, so, yeah. Awkward. Alright, I don't know what this screw does. This was so that you could adjust the handle, and that's what broke. So we ended up just kind of taping it. It's been just taped for it to work for the longest time. So if this is an 09, I think, I can't really look at the Easy Vac right now. I have 3 of those now. I have that one, which is my personal one, and I got 2 of the newer black ones before they discontinued them when they were just black. I got 2 of those black ones for my mom. She likes them. One for the basement and one for, you know, her bedroom and stuff. I got 23 T7s, I think. Put that there for now. But yeah, I mean, I guess, honestly, you could probably consider me more of a Eureka dude. We got 3 Eurekas right here. 1 Eureka right there. 1 Eureka right there. Eureka. Eureka Whirlwind, Eureka Victory, Eureka Power Speed, Eureka the Boss. And then, do I have anything outside? No. Well, and my 2 Electroluxes, so you guys do the counting. Got 1 Shark, and that's it, and that's all it's ever gonna be. See, I don't even like it enough to wrap up the cord. I'm kind of not much of a Dirt Devil person. We got 1 there, 1 in my sister's room, the new one that I haven't showed you guys yet, Ultra Ruby Turbo, and I think that's it. Not much of a Dirt Devil person, but I do like the ones that I have. I guess I like Hoovers, too. I got the M-Power, Caddyvac, 2 of those Max Performances, but I gave 1 away. This Rewind, this Whole House 2. Got the Hoover Legacy. Oh, that sucks. The Hoover Convertible. Hoover Carpet Washer. Hoover Pixie. And do I have anything downstairs? No, do not. Ugh. These are just spare screws that I have. You know, if you lose a screw for something, or for a vacuum. I have these. Alright guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more. Peace.